The frozen mountains of Verkhoyansk awaken under a pale golden light, revealing the true giants of the taiga. The wild yak moves through the storm with a quiet strength, its breath turning to ice the moment it meets the air. Around it, the land remains silent, shaped by wind, snow, and endless cold. High on the ridges, the Yakutian Ibex watches from the cliffs, appearing only for a moment before slipping back into the fog. Life here is cautious, deliberate, and shaped by instinct. Closer to the settlements, the daily rhythm of the Yakut people continues, gathering wood, tending fires, caring for sled dogs. Their lives move in harmony with the land, never fighting the cold, but learning to live alongside it. As the storm intensifies, the wild yak becomes a shadow against the snow, signaling the beginning of a journey deeper into the white silence of Yakutia.
This spot should work. The wind is low here.
Be careful, the stones are slick with frost.
I'll get more from the pile.
In the frozen stillness of Yakutia, the first signs of life rarely come from sound. They come from the snow. Every hoof print left behind tells a story, where the wild yak pushed through deep drifts, where the snow sheep climbed impossible walls of ice, and where the ibex crossed narrow ridges far above the wind. These tracks are the language of the taiga. They reveal direction, mood, pace, and presence. They show moments of hesitation, bursts of speed, and the quiet determination of animals shaped by -71 degrees Celsius cold. Even when the land seems empty, the snow remembers everything. Among these signs, the Yakut people move with purpose. They read the snow with a practiced eye, understanding what every imprint means. In this world of white and silence, following tracks is not just part of survival, it's a way of listening to the land itself. High on the frozen cliffs of Verkhoyansk, survival is measured in moments. Here, the Wild Yak and the Yakutian Ibex cross paths on narrow ledges carved by wind and ice. Their movements are powerful and deliberate, each step holding the weight of instinct and ancient memory. The Wild Yak, built like a moving glacier, pushes forward with unstoppable force. The Ibex, light and precise, leaps across ice walls where no other animal can stand. Their clash is not driven by anger, but by the demands of the land. Space is limited, food is scarce, and the cold allows no weakness. Around them, the taiga listens. Snow sheep, moose, and even distant musk ox watch from the edges of the white arena, each understanding the silent rules that shape this frozen world. In Yakutia, conflict is not chaos, it is balance. The land tests every creature, reminding them that only those who move with purpose can survive the white, wind-swept heights. After the hunt, silence returns to the white land of Yakutia. Fires are built from frozen wood, their smoke rising slowly through the still air. Around these small flames, life begins again. The people of Yakutia work with deliberate calm. Meat from the wild yak is hung to dry, turned by steady hands, and smoked until it can endure months of unbroken frost. Children feed the dogs. Elders tend the embers. Every motion is purposeful, a quiet dialogue between human endurance and the cold. The man of Yakutia moves wordlessly among them, tending to the fire and tightening ropes on drying racks. His presence is not of command, but of belonging, part of the rhythm that sustains life here. In this frozen expanse, survival is never sudden or heroic. It is the accumulation of countless small acts, performed with patience, guided by knowledge passed through generations. The rising smoke becomes more than warmth or preservation. It is the breath of continuity, the quiet proof that live.
It is cold today. Yes, but the fire is warm.
Dawn rises over Yakutia, where silence holds the frozen land in its grasp. The man of Yakutia moves through drifting frost, his sled cutting faint lines across the white horizon. The storm has passed, yet the air still hums with the weight of 71 degrees Celsius cold. Around him, life quietly resumes. Dogs breathing mist, villagers tending fire, smoke rising softly into the pale sky. Each sound fades quickly, swallowed by the endless snow. The man pauses, gazing toward the ridges where Wild Yak once stood, their trails now buried beneath the storm's memory. Night returns with the calm of survival. Inside the wooden hut, frost melts near the fire as the aurora flickers beyond the window. The man sits in silence, his breath mixing with the smoke. Outside, wolves call into the wind, and the tundra listens. At dawn, he departs once more, vanishing into the white stillness. The snow covers his path, leaving only the vast, breathing cold, timeless, patient, and eternal.
We must hurry. The frost settles quickly.
Nikolai is bringing the last traps now. We can go inside soon.
Safely! Don't freeze out there! We await your return!
The storm has passed, leaving behind a silence too vast to measure. Across the white expanse, every breath, every spark of light feels like the earth itself remembering how to live again. The man of Yakutia stands beneath the faint morning sun, his shadow stretching across the snow. Around him, Wild Yak moves slowly through the mist. Snow sheep graze along the ridges, and smoke rises gently from distant huts. In this stillness, nothing rushes. Even the cold seems to breathe in rhythm with the land. Night descends softly, and the sky opens with quiet auroras that shimmer like thoughts unspoken. The fire hums low, the sled rests, and the tundra glows beneath the pale horizon. This is Yakutia, harsh, eternal, yet full of quiet life. Here the cold is not an enemy. It is the pulse of the land itself, the beating heart of the frozen world.
The frost is thick on the window tonight.
Yes, but the stew makes the cold disappear.